Good evening. Good evening. This is Mary from Thriving Athletes. I'm here with Elvis. And like we said earlier, Elvis is in the building. Woo-hoo! I love that. I'm sure he gets that all the time. You're probably so tired of it. But I would like everyone to meet Elvis. Elvis, tell us a little bit about yourself. You can do it in English and Spanish if you don't mind.
Sure. Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Elvis Leon. I have the great privilege to work with Mary. And just a little bit of history of my professional background. I used to work for a university for over 10 years. It was Colorado Technical University. A lot of great experience. I started out as an admission advisor and was able to work myself up the corporate ladder. I was close to 7 years as a campus director, had great success, learned a lot about the whole process from enrolling all the way to starting school. And helping students out with degree planning, degree selection, and also financial aid as well. And most of all, having them stay committed to the goals that they would like to achieve and helping them see the end result, which is getting a degree. So there's a lot of facets to it. Learned a lot. Very passionate about the educational space. So I'm just going to continue to be able to work with Mary and share my experience.
That's pretty interesting. Got a lot going on there. So you were in the school. So you, we'll have to, okay, I'm going to put that little on the back burner. So we're going to really have to bring that up about later about helping you find their niche, their intended major, all that. That's something we'll talk about in a little bit too. But being in the schools, did you work a lot with people working on FAFSAs at all, or getting?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. From an advisor standpoint, that was one of the primary roles, is to be able to give guidance and direction on what were the things that students needed to do in preparation to working with financial aid.
Wow.
And the first step is to complete a free application for federal student aid, which is called the FAFSA. A lot of people fear the form for whatever reason, because it can be a little bit, like it's like a puzzle.
Right.
So you got to put it piece by piece. But if you really invest the time necessary, one trick that I could tell you is that if you got your taxes with you, and you've already got your federal student aid ID, and you go into the FAFSA form, and you start completing it, of course, you need to have your school code from the school to the school that the student is applying to. You could even call the federal aid, the 1-800 number. You could call them and they could walk you through it step by step if you don't feel comfortable completing the form. I've done it in the past. Some schools have it where the financial aid advisor can walk you through filling out the form by hand.
Oh, wow.
So the quickest way that I recommend, the quickest way that a FAFSA can get processed is doing it online.
Right. So, right. Now, here's a question. I know when my kids were in school, I would put in FAFSA and then all this stuff would pop up. You said something that intrigued me. It's free. So no matter what, it's always free?
Yes. You do not want to be, you're going to, if you go to Google, you're going to type in FAFSA and you're going to probably see a lot of links that populate. There's some organizations that have a website and they'll say that they'll charge you for the form. This is a free form. That's why it's called the free application for federal student aid. So the website is www.f as in Frank, A as in Alex, F as in Fred, S as in Sam, A as in Albert, followed by a period. Then you put ed, ed, followed by a period, and then gov, G-O-V. It's a government website. So if you type in FAFSA.com, then it's going to lead you to a website where you're going to have to pay for the form.
I bet you that's what I did. So what I'll do after this video is over and we everything's posted, I'll make sure I put that website in the bottom of the video and then also in our link down below. Okay, that's really important. Okay, so cool. So here's a question. Let's say I'm a mom or a dad of a 7th grader and I'm trying to plan out all this crazy stuff for my kid to be ready for college. Do you have to only be a junior in high school to fill it out, or who can fill them out?
No, you can fill it out. If your child is a junior, you could go in and fill it out just so you could have a good feel of how the form is.
Uh-huh.
To see what information that they ask is perfectly fine.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
you won't. You're going to speak to a financial aid advisor after 2 years.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
So if you put the school code in
Uh-huh.
of the school that you would like to your child to go to, you'll probably receive a call from that admission advisor. So,
Going,
yeah,
wait, is your kid really smart or what are you doing? Do you have to
exactly.
put a code in or can you leave that blank?
You can leave it blank.
Oh,
You
okay.
can
So you
leave
can
it
at least
blank.
find that out that way. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, it's another question. If you're an athlete, okay, and you get a
Mhm.
full ride from a D1 school, do you still have to
Mhm.
fill out the FAFSA form?
I would recommend that you do complete the FAFSA because you never know what you're eligible for. So
Mhm.
if you
Okay,
could
cool.
get some more assistance, why not explore the option and
Right,
see what's available for you? So
right.
I would
Well,
recommend.
that's good to hear. Now, as an advisor, and let's say, as an advisor, you get an EFC of 120,000. First of all,
Mhm.
explain what EFC is and explain what happens if you get a high one or a low one.
Well, the expected family contribution on a
Mm-hmm.
FAFSA,
Mm-hmm.
well, to be honest with you, it all depends. This is where it all depends. It all depends on how much money you make.
Okay.
So how much is like for example, a student that's going into college, they're going to utilize their parents' tax information. So
So what year do they utilize them?
until they're independent, until they're the age of 24.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Because in the eyes of the Department of Education, you're independent by the age of 24. Or if you're already married, or if you're a single parent, um, or if you served in the military, or if your parents are deceased,
Okay.
um, then then you don't have to be 24. You could pretty much utilize your own information. But in
Mm-hmm.
this case, the expected family contribution, it's just based on the amount. How much did your parents make? That's going to determine what your eligibility is. For example, if your parents make more than 100,000 a year, well, you're not going to get a Pell Grant. You're going to get student loans.
Right.
That's pretty much what you're going to get. Now, if it's an income that, um, if my memory serves me well, if it's under 30 grand, then you're going to be able to get some more financial assistance.
Okay. Let me ask you this question. If you are, since Jeff, you can pull back on your memory here. Let's say if you are a student and then you fill out your FAFSA and you get it back, your estimated family contribution is $110,000, but you're
Mhm.
getting a full ride for an athlete, as let's say a D1 or a partial on a D2, that's still okay to get the athletic scholarship. It's the other one, the needs or the merit. Does that determine against your merit also? Like a merit scholarship?
You said a marriage scholarship?
Like a merit, like you scholarship for straight A's or GP 32 on your ACT. Does
No.
that number hurt that at all?
No, because whatever scholarship you gain, whether it's academically or through athletics,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to give you that amount.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter what the income is that your parents' household is. So
Okay.
that's
Okay.
something that you earned.
Right.
That's what the student earned.
Okay.
So
Cool. Now, do you know anything about 529s?
529.
Yeah.
Uh,
So if I
mm,
have all this money in 529 but I have maybe an EFC of 20,000, do I have to use all that 529 money first, right?
oh, that's the college savings plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, from well, this is where the financial aid advisor would work with them more in
Uh-huh.
detail what that plan is. But from what I understand, this is something that is an account that your parents put aside that
Hmm.
they're so you could utilize the money that is accumulated there. So from my understanding is it only could be utilized for a school. If
Yeah.
your child is going for college, if they decide not to go to college, then you're going to have to give that to a family member that's going to go to college or university, or else it's money that it's
Wow.
gone.
Wow,
So
that's pretty amazing.
it has to be utilized for school purposes.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Okay, so I know that I told you we keep it down to 10, 15 minutes, just because of the fact that we don't want to take up too much time. But I do want to hit on, what are the 3 things you think someone should know when they start applying for FAFSA? And then give us a lead in what we think we should talk about next time.
Sure. 3 things. First of all, filling out the form, it's not as difficult as some may say it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is a little bit time consuming, especially if it's a first time that you're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I could say is, if you're by yourself alone, fill it out to the best of your abilities.
Mm-hmm.
If you have questions about it, or if you want someone to walk you through it, of course, call that 800 number. Someone will be able to walk you through it.
Mm-hmm.
Have the school code of the schools that you want your child to apply to.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would recommend. And always remember, this is a free application. So regardless of whoever tells you that this is going to cost, that's false. Always go to the government website, which I mentioned.
Okay, cool.
Another thing that I would recommend is, when your child is in that point of being a senior and preparing for college, is really being able to sit down and talk with them about their goals of what they would like to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
But not only that, finding out what their passion is, because sometimes as parents, we want to navigate the ship for them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's great. We're there to support them and give them advice. However, we may want them to be doctors, but then they may not want to be a doctor.
That's so true.
So we got to find out, what are they truly passionate about.
Mm-hmm.
And in my experience, I've run into situations where students, they've enrolled into schools and they've enrolled into degree programs because their parents told them that they want them to pursue that career.
Yeah.
And they'll do it some are obedient and they'll do it, but in reality, it's not their passion. And here is where you'll spend a lot of money on a degree that your child is going to get just to satisfy you, but is not going to be fulfilled, and they're not going to utilize that degree for the career that they want to be in.
Right.
So you're going to spend more time, and it's going to take you're going to spend a lot of money, and it's going to take them more time to be in the career field that they like. So
exactly.
I would strongly recommend with the parents. I know it could get a little bit difficult because you have a lot of factors. They're young. They still don't know how the real world is.
Mm-hmm.
At that age, if you recall, you're following your peers. You're following your friends. Where are my friends going to college? Because I want to be with them and I want to go to that school. And sometimes that school could be a little bit too expensive, or they may not even have the degree program for them to pursue.
Right,
So,
exactly. And as you know, that's one of my big things I always talk about, with thriving athletes. That's our biggest key, is finding the perfect fit athletically and academically. So with that being said, it's so important for me to make sure these kids find that. So I think, Elvis, I would love the next time we talk that you can maybe give us some key points of how the best way it is for a young person to go ahead and find their passion, to find the way that they're going. Because, a lot of times when they talk to parents, it doesn't help. I know with me personally, I'll be talking to a student and they'll say, thank goodness my mom wasn't on the phone so I can tell you how I really feel. And I just hope that somehow down the line we can get them strong enough to say, Mom, I don't want to do this. I want to do this. Let's not waste our money. And sometimes it's hard on kids. So maybe we can give them some advice and help them out that way.
Absolutely. In my experience, I have had the opportunity to be able to speak with the student on a one-on-one basis. That way, I get to find out more about the student without the parent present, because that's where they'll open up and talk more about what they would like to do and achieve. And then also what I've done is had sessions with the parents as well, and hear what their goals are and what they would like to do to better support their child.
Right.
And
that's a good point. Yeah.
And then have that combination of parents and the student together and being able to work together, because sometimes as parents, you know, we love our children too much.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we know what's right and wrong, that we don't listen to them, that we're not listening to them. And that's where the
Exactly.
frustration comes in, not only from the student's perspective, but also from a parent's perspective, because the parent is like, why are they not following my lead, or I know what's best for them. And trust me, I'm a parent too.
Yeah.
And I believe there'll be a moment where I'll be in that area, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, at least I know right now I have to be able to keep my ears open to
Mm-hmm.
what they like, and you know, but always with that love
Yeah.
for and letting them know that, okay, I'm here to support you. Let's figure out what you're really good at, and let's find the right school to
Yeah.
help you get there. And some students may not be ready for the big schools.
Right. Oh, I
You know,
agree 100% with that. Oh, yeah. I
so
mean,
that's another topic that I could tell
yes.
you about.
So let's start the next one. We're going to talk about the next topic. So we'll do that. If you don't mind, we can do it weekly. I mean, I think it would be great if we can do them weekly. And we'll do the next topic, talk about, finding your passion. Then we can talk about other things. But one thing I do want you to do, because you speak Spanish, right?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I mean, if you don't mind, I would like to go ahead, each time we have our conversation, we'll start out, I'll introduce you and tell a little about yourself in English and Spanish. And then at the end here, when we're done, if you can give a tip in English and Spanish, because I do work a lot with Hispanic kids. I'm married to a Hispanic man, so we're always in that kind of environment.
Yeah.
But sometimes the moms and dads don't understand a word I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
The kids do, and they're translating, but sometimes I would love to just talk right to the moms and say, let them find their passion, let them discover themselves, and it's really hard to do that.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And yeah, I'm here to be able to support the Hispanic community as well.
Great.
I've had the opportunity to be able to talk with a couple parents, especially the ones that, you know, they don't have an understanding of what are the next steps for their
Right.
children once they're done with high school. So they
Right.
always just need that reassurance from someone that they could trust, and someone that could communicate with them in
Exactly.
that language. So that way they feel secure about the steps that their child is taking. So
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
one of the things that I could tell you. The great experience that I had working at the university had given me knowledge and direction, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and that passion for helping individuals out, because I didn't have that. I
Yeah.
didn't have direction when I was making my decisions. I wish I had that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you live and you learn. You make mistakes and you learn from them, and you keep getting better.
That's right.
And
You sure do.
that has helped me be a better advisor. So I'm like, I guess I had to go through that experience.
I think
Um,
we all do everything for a reason, don't we?
yeah,
I
yeah,
agree.
you
Well,
know.
well, actually, we're at our 13 minutes. I always try to keep them on time. So we're at our 13 minutes. But what I would like you to do here, real quick, Elvis, if you can go ahead and let the Hispanic people that may be listening that don't speak really great English, or ones that would prefer to listen in Spanish, because that happens too, right?
Mhm.
Why don't you let them know in Spanish what we would expect next time from you?
Okay.
So
So,
go.
muy buenas noches con todos. Me llamo Elvis Leon. Tengo el privilegio de trabajar con Mary, que está con Thriving Athletes, que es un programa súper bueno para sus hijos. Estamos aquí colaborando y trabajando con los estudiantes, y tenemos una pasión para ayudarles a ellos en sus decisiones académicas y deportivas. Yo trabajo en la capacidad de ayudarle al alumno en qué dirección ellos quieren estar en la carrera, ayudarles a poner en el programa ideal para ellos, y también ayudarles a ellos a encontrar su pasión, las cosas que les interesa a ellos, las cosas que realmente les va a apasionar a ellos hacer en el futuro. Yo doy charlas con ellos, les ayudo a descubrir eso, pero también doy charlas a los padres de familia, porque esto es una nueva aventura para muchas personas y necesitamos dirección y ser informados de estos pasos para que le podemos apoyar a nuestros alumnos. y estoy aquí para colaborar y trabajar en eso con ustedes. Mi nombre de nuevo es Elvis Leon. Estoy aquí para servirles y vamos a continuar trabajando con Mary y ayudando a los alumnos a seguir adelante.
Ah, muy bien, muy bien. Poquito español, poquito español. I can understand more than I can talk. How's that? And the words I can talk, you don't want to hear. You know, but that's great. Thank you.
Yeah. No, you're very welcome. Thank you, Mary. Really excited for this venture.
Oh, me too. Me too. All right, Elvis, I'm going to go ahead and let you go, and then we will talk. Why don't we just plan on the same time next week, and that way we can go ahead and we'll publish these the following day. Because right now, guys, we're talking to you at nighttime, and you guys are all sleeping. We're late people, and then we'll go ahead and we'll publish it late the next day. How's that sound for you?
Sounds good.
Okay, people. See you next week, and listen in.
All right. Good night, everybody. Hasta mañana.
Muy bien. Bye-bye.